Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah and to Fancy Fold Friday. Today I'm revisiting a card that I have made previously on my blog, but this one's a little bit different because I've added a little flap to one side. So for this card you need the Thinlet Circle card die set from Stampin' Up, which comes, all our dies actually come in these lovely really sturdy wallets, which are great, along with the information sheet about how you put the card together, and all of these dies. So you've got the die that makes the card, and then you've got a series of dies that you can use to embellish your card, and I am using this scallop a bit later on. So to make normally to make the card, you would just get your piece of cardstock and put the die straight onto your piece of cardstock and send it through your machine. It'd be lovely. This time we need to feed our piece of cardstock, and I know my white balance is going all over the place here. Feed your piece of cardstock through your die and line it up on the inside so that your cardstock meets that edge. Okay, which it will absolutely do. And run that through your big shot. You also need a piece of a 6x6 piece of DSP, and you just run that straight through the big shot just as it is. I'm going to go and do that, and I will come back in a second. So once you've run your two pieces through the big shot, you then have two pieces that have little cutout bits on. This is our piece of DSP, and we're just going to make some cuts to this so that it will fit. So, excuse me, take your Stampin' trimmer, and what we're going to do is we're going to take off ever so slightly, we're going to just trim down all four edges. And the way I find easiest to do it is if you take your Stampin' trimmer, there's a groove down the middle, and I don't know if it's easy to see this way, there's a groove that goes straight down there, and what we're going to do is I'm going to line my DSP up with the other edge. So take my DSP in and line it up with that edge there, and trim. And we're going to do this on all four sides, and this makes a really big difference when you're putting your card together. That's that. And then we also need to trim off some sections in the middle. So you probably won't see this on this card, on this DSP, but there's actually two score lines down the centre of the card, and down the centre of the DSP that will be made by the die. I'm going to put this into my trimmer with that score line running in that groove, and we're going to chop along that score line and the other one as well, which will give us two pieces of DSP that look like that. Put my trimmer away. I'm bringing my card blank, so I'm going to fold, first I'm going to fold it backwards and then forwards along that score line, and then I'm going to fold it the other way. And I just find that this really helps just get the creases and allows your card to move well. Then I'm going to fold this piece over to here. I don't know if you can see on here, it's not quite all the way over to this score line. It meets that circular cutout bit. And the easiest way to do this, you could measure and find your, the white balance in this card's not going well at all, is it? You could score it, but I find the easy way to do it is just to fold it and then burnish it with your bone folder. and then that forms your card base. We then need to attach our pieces of DSP, and this piece will sit nicely on there, and that piece won't sit nicely on there at all because that's not where it's going. Right, so I'm going to stick this piece of DSP on first, and then we're going to have to trim. This entire video has been a disaster. Bloopers galore. So attach that bit onto there, and then with this other piece you'll be able to see that we can just trim off a section. So if we bring it back in our Stampin' trimmer again, and this piece needs to be 5.5, which it is slightly too short, by 2 inches. Is it 2 inches? Yes, 2 inches. Which will fit just nicely on there. So a bit more snail. I'm just going to pop that onto there. And where I've put that, there we go. So as you can see, I've put that piece of DSP slightly too far over. So I've now got 3 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. I've got that scallop circle that I cut out with the die. I've got a piece of Whisper White that measures 2 inches by 5.5, and that's going to sit on the inside here as a place for you to write. So I'll pop that in first. And then I have got a scrap piece of white cardstock ready for stamping on. So my stamp set for today is the Painted Petals from the Spring Summer collection, and I've got Pear Pizzazz and Blackberry Bliss ink. I'm going to use these flowers, the stalks, and this sentiment here, "You are amazingly amazing." So we'll do the flowers first. I'm just going to use this piece of Whisper White as a mat as well. So a bit of Blackberry Bliss. Ink it up. I love this stamp set because it just makes you look like a watercolour master without doing anything at all. Straight down onto that that scallop circle, and I'm going to get my Pear Pizzazz and ink up my stalks, and which I haven't done very well. There we go. Isn't that pretty? That's just so pretty. So pretty. And then while I've got my Blackberry Bliss ink out, I'm also going to ink up my sentiment straight down to that piece of Whisper White. I'll close these ink pads up before I put my fingers in them. And I've got the extra large oval punch. That fits into just beautifully. Like that. And then we'll just need a couple of dimensionals onto the back of these Whisper White pieces. As you can see, my very sad looking dimensionals. So card back in. Pop that into the centre, and that one onto there. And that is my Fancy Fold Friday for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.